everybody. Welcome back to the Multipliers of Leadership podcast. My name is Joseph, and I am thrilled to be back with you today. And I want to start with something a little bit more controversial and start off by saying that what I know about being a pastor for many years has taught me that many who attend church don't actually love to pray. They like prayer, they like the idea of prayer, but they don't actually love it. I mean, even now, if I were to ask you and say, hey, do you pray enough? I mean, I've seen this time and time again. It's always the same answer, like, no. And there's always the reasons and guilt and a little bit of shame as the answer comes along. But the intent of this series is not to give you guilt or to shame you into praying more. But our goal is going to be to take some of the religious facade off of this idea of prayer to make it simple and show us the power of prayer in our life and in our leadership. And we'll be in this series over the next few weeks called A Call to Pray. I mean, I think we can all agree that this is a great season of time, a great point in history where we need prayer. Before strategy, before planning, before just the noise of life and leadership, there's a call to pray. In this series, we'll use the Lord's Prayer as our model, as that makes the most sense. So to start, let's just start by reading the Lord's Prayer together. Jesus said this. He says, "Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And do not lead us into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen." That's a powerful passage, and maybe that seems even a little bit overwhelming for you. But as we look into this passage, we see that Jesus makes it really clear right out of the gate. He starts with this idea of relationship. He says, "Our Father." Before asking for anything, Jesus teaches us to remember who we belong to. You'll hear me continue to say, understanding our identity is one of the most key things you can do as a follower of Jesus. And this prayer reminds us of our position. See, for me, I am a son, which is a position in my family. My sons, they have position in my family. My daughter has position in my family. And it reminds them that, hey, as an elder, it comes with certain things. And so we're reminding ourselves of the position of being in God's family if you're a follower of Jesus. And so what I want us to do is I want us to talk about first just the priority of prayer. I know that I would give the same answer and say, I don't pray enough. I need to prioritize it more. So let's look at Mark 1:35. It says this. It says, very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house, went off to a solitary place where he prayed. And if you look closely at this verse, you'll see a rhythm. Jesus does this often, where he withdrew before he ever went out and did anything. He prayed before he preached. He connected with his good Father before he commanded people to go and to sin no more. And it's easy for us, or it's easy for me anyway, to flip that order and say, hey, I'm going to go out and then I'm going to pray and invite Jesus to come and be a part of what I'm doing again, because I know he wants to be a part of what I'm doing. But when we rush to the next thing in life, whether that's the meeting, the ministry, the whatever's in front of us, and we end up tired and confused and desperate, and then we stop and we're like, man, we should just pray right now because things aren't going well. But Jesus didn't treat prayer as the last resort, and we know that. But he treated it as the first work, the most important work. Everything he did flowed from what he received from his Father's presence. That's why he said, I only do what I see the Father doing. Well, where does he get that? It's from time alone with the Lord, talking to him, listening to him, or time alone with God, talking and listening to God. I mean, if the Son of God, the perfect, powerful, anointed, still made time to be alone with his Father, if he needed that, how much more do we? See, when we lead from the secret place where we carry a peace inside instead of a pressure to perform, when we plan from prayer, we build from revelation instead of just reaction. I mean, how often have I been guilty of this, where I lead out of reaction in leading my kids or my family, or even a certain scenario or event takes place and I'm like, hey, I've got a leadership quip or I've got a book that I've read, instead of being able to say, man, how can I just invite God into this? See, when we invite God into something, all of a sudden the weight that we feel like we have to carry is not our weight to carry anymore. It allows him to carry it with us. So let me just ask us the question. When's the last time you just stopped before a big decision and said, let's just pray through this? And there's times we say we got to pray for a big decision, but What about even just the small stuff? And say, Lord, what do you want me to do here? Lord, what restaurant do you want me to eat at today? I don't know the last time I've done that. I'm like, well, I know barbecue sounds good today. I'm going to go have barbecue. But how do we invite the Lord into the small things and the big things? Not just to problem solve, but truly just to listen to the Lord, to spend time with him, to know his voice. If we, as his sheep, are to know his voice, and we have to talk to him. We have to read his word and talk to him. And it's not just to tell God our plans and say, hey, this is what we're doing, God, but it's to ask for his. I mean, that's where spiritual leadership began. I mean, this is called the Multipliers Leadership Podcast. If you want to be an incredible leader, if you could become really good at this, of just stopping, take 1 minute before a meeting and say, Lord, I invite you into this meeting. I invite you into this conversation with my kids because I'm not sure how I need to navigate it. Lord, will you just speak to me? Will you give heavenly wisdom to me because I need it? I mean, this is where we get the true identity from the Lord, the direction from him, the power from him. It's just to stop and invite him in. It's simple, but we overcomplicate it. And so this whole series isn't to push us and say, man, we've just really got to get our act together. It's to highlight the opportunity in front of us. So here's our call to action for this week. We're going to keep it really simple and really practical. I'm going to give you two steps. The first is carve out intentional time to pray before you even plan. Just intentional time to pray. Maybe it's early in the mornings. Maybe it's before your workday begins. Maybe it's in the car ride that you take the kids to school or back from school. Maybe it's an easier one. Maybe it's late at night when the house is quiet. Whatever it is, just stop, breathe, and say, Father, your kingdom come, your will be done. Speak, Lord, your servant's listening. I'm here. Where do you want me to go? What do you want me to do? Speak to me. So that's the first thing, is to plan it. The second is, it is a tip that I had to use if I am really good at reading, which I'm not naturally like, oh, I'm always going to pick up a book, but I have to be disciplined for it. And the only way that I can really be good at it is to always keep a book in my hand and look for those small, what I call micro moments. It's the 5 minutes here where I'm sitting and I'm waiting, well, a lot longer than a pickup line, but I'm in a pickup line waiting to pick up kids, or I've got a 5 minute window here where I'm in a doctor's office or whatever it may be. And I look for those opportunities that I can pick up a book and I can read. And I get a lot more read that way, right? It's the same thing when it comes to prayer. Is how do we look for those micro moments to say, Lord, I want to invite you into this. I'm stopped at a stoplight. All right, Lord, instead of grabbing my phone and looking at things that maybe aren't important, aren't necessary, hey, Lord, I just invite you into the rest of my day today. As we have dinner with my family, let me have a conversation that's centered around you. Or even just, Lord, I'm listening. What is it you have to say to me? What is it that you want to speak over me in my life? That's the invitation, is to not let prayer be a tag on to the rest of your life, but let it be interweaved into everything you do. I mean, that's a challenge for me, and I hope it's a good challenge for you as well. Next week, we're going to look at the calling, or who are we, as we explore our prayer a little bit more, but who are we as true sons and daughters and leaders in God's kingdom? But until then, remember that before you ever lead, before you ever make plans, just pause to listen to the Lord, to invite him in, because the greatest work for you as a leader, it doesn't start in this public setting or social media, but it starts in the presence of God, where true power and authority come from. And that's something I think we can all grab a hold of. Hey, you guys have a great week.